All right, so we are recording. So welcome everybody to Power Hour. It's great to see so many faces as well as some boxes. If you are at a point where you can, definitely keep your video on. That helps everybody, myself included. Lets everybody know that there's another human being behind the little box. It's interesting on how, and I get it, there's some people y'all in the middle of doing something or maybe you're taking a shower or something, go ahead and keep your video turned off. But otherwise, it's very helpful for others because they know that there is a connection there, and it makes it personable. And that's a very important step to do. I've definitely been in spots where, man, I don't want everybody see me tonight. That's just going to be selfish. We don't want to be selfish. We want to be here to help others, and you'll be amazed at what that does to be able to see the other face. So thank you all for joining. Thank you all for jumping on. So what I want to do tonight is I want to give a quick report on the One Conversation Away challenges that are going on right now. I have a workshop that we set up 4 of these workshops. It's a paid course. We've had 2 of them so far, and we're doing you get the 3-hour session that we have, and then you get an hour one-on-one with me, and then there's another hour one-on-one with me that happens, and it's all in this vein of what we're doing for working on the business and a specific way of going through, and a lot of people are getting a lot of great results out of what's happening. And what I want to do is I want to make some distinctions. I want to make some observations for you all in what we do. But to orient everybody on what I'm going to talk tonight about, and I'm going to share my screen real fast just so that I'm visual, and I know a lot of people are visual. So I always talk about these 4 pillars that we have. The 4 pillars of the Jade Factory of what keeps that sucker moving and making it the awesome system that it is there's 4 main pillars to this. The first one that we talk about is desire. If you don't have desire, then it doesn't matter what the rest of these pillars are. You're never going to see them anyway, right? If you don't have a desire, if you don't have a burning thing inside of you yearning to get out, you got to figure out what that is. Everybody's got that. Everybody's got a desire. The problem is it's most likely been covered up. It's been layer upon disappointment, upon life, upon experience, upon difficulty, upon everything gets piled up on that. And sometimes that desire, while it's still burning hot, it gets buried way underneath the ground and you don't feel that heat as much. What I'm trying to do is get everybody to realize that that thing is still lit and it's inside of you. You just need to get in touch with it. And if I ask somebody what's their desire, a lot of times what happens is the desire is on this side and then all these other things are on another. But what people do is they lump them together. And what that is they're going to say, well, yeah, I have a lot of desire. I really want to be able to do this. But goes right there. I don't have an opportunity, or I don't know how, or I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money, or I don't have support from my spouse. One of these things is going to be lacking in that sentence. So again, I tell you that everybody's got this. They've got desire. But because they don't have a way to get to that desire, or they have a perceived lack of knowledge and skill to be able to operate this vehicle if they even have one, or maybe they don't have both, or they've got that, but they don't think that they don't think they have enough time or energy or money or support to be able to do something. And so framing this all up, in the course, I go in very deep in each of these 4 items, especially deep here in the internal resources And I show people the internal resources of knowledge. Do you have the internal know-how on how to operate this vehicle? We spend a lot of time here, and there's 5 steps for how you operate this vehicle. The first step is you hear me talk about waving. This is waving to somebody in the grocery store. You've done it all the time. You see somebody on the other side, oh, I know such and such. You wave at them. And then after that, you say, hi, how are you? Then when you get up there and you say, hi, how are you? Then you start asking them how a couple things are going. You ask them about their family. You ask them how work's going. You ask them if they've gone on any vacations. Or you ask them how softball's going. F is for family. O is for occupation, R is for recreation, M is for motivation. You ask them something about those things. I was having a chat with somebody and they knew the person was they lived alone, but they had a dog. Well, that dog's family. Well, how's your dog doing? Oh my God, the dude didn't shut up for 20 minutes talking about their whole life because that was the trigger to be able to do it. So what I want to talk tonight about is I want to talk about this step right here, because that's really where the rubber hits the road, if you will. The wave and the hi is you driving your dump truck out of the parking lot on the gravel parking lot, driving away from the factory, and just as soon as you go down the service road and you hit pavement, that happens right here at step 3. That's when the rubber hits the road. Now it's real. It's not the safe little driveway that we're doing. There's cars on this road. They're going by real fast. Stuff starts happening. It gets a little crazy. If you think back to when you were first driving a vehicle, I actually had another chat with somebody. They said, well, when I first started driving, as soon as I got on the road and I saw a car coming, I just pulled over and parked. I wasn't engaged in that at all. That's going to happen. And that is what happens to people. When they get to this step, this is when they usually pull over, put it in park, and go, well, I'm not quite sure this is for me. And they forget the desire because they feel that they don't know how to do this step. And then if you break down the steps, it's this one, the third one, that usually gets people first. It's the first landmine that people step on. They don't know how to go about this step. So what I want to do is I want to discuss this step. I want to give a little lecture on it, but I also want to engage the audience and I want to get people's opinion on what they think this step is. So we're going to start with that first tonight. Who would like to volunteer? No shooters, please, but who would like to volunteer what step 3 means to them? And I want an example. Not just words, but I want to give an example like you were giving me a rundown on how you would actually do that step, some of the words that you would use. Who wants to offer that up for the group? And this is where that awkward part is. I'll sit here all night until somebody jumps up.
I can go.
Jamie, thank you. Let's hear it. What you got?
About forming, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I would say checking on their family, like, hey, how have y'all been? I heard your kid went to some kind of competition, did some sort of whatever. Recreation is what they like to do for fun. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, recreation is kind of like, have you gone anywhere on any trips or fun, any of that that's personal to them? Yep. So Jamie, give me an example of how you would go about that.
You kind of cut out there for a little bit. Sorry.
Tell me an example of how you would continue going down form. You were talking about recreation. Give me an example of how you would go about that.
Recreation, I would say like my husband likes to camp. So have you been camping lately? I know you like to do that. Have you, I don't know.
No, you do. You do know. You just did it. That's perfect. That's exactly it. That's exactly. an example of what you would do in that situation. So give me one of motivation. What's an example of motivation in your head?
Motivation. An example for me would be like feeding kids that don't have food, doing volunteer opportunities. Like I just got done at the youth center speaking. So I don't know how to ask. I guess like what kind of things motivate you?
That's a very good question to ask. That's a good question to ask. Turn it around and tell me how you would act. If you know that motivates somebody, they like feeding starving families as well. How would you ask them how that's going?
Well, what do you do on a daily basis to fulfill that dream or that goal?
Very nice. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Awesome. Jamie, you did it. You know what form is.
Thanks.
Now that's good. Anybody else want to offer up their explanation of that, of what they believe forming is? Give me an example for each of those on how you would ask somebody about each of those 4 items. Rio.
Yeah.
I saw you unmuted. I got you, sir. What you got?
Do you hear me?
I sure do.
Okay. I was looking at that the form that what you were showing that you had showed there, and to me that kind of if you could you bring that back online for me?
Sure can.
Okay. Now I think you said the F was for what? Yeah, family, occupation, and now those are, and what you say you got, recreation, and then motivation. Okay. So those things to me, it really leads into a big conversation, because if you just like you said about the dog, man, you talk about people. Like right now, I'm up here with my daughter. She's getting ready to go into Sam Houston State, and believe me, when you start talking about family, oh man, we had a big conversation about family.
Give me an example on how you would ask the question to start that conversation about family.
Oh, well, in this case, we just talking about about our daughters. In my case, my daughter.
So let me frame this up. You're taking her to college, and you see somebody else that's kind of in your same shoes, where they've got a child that they're bringing to college, and you started a conversation up. Is that right?
Right, exactly.
And what did you say to that person? Start from the beginning. This is going to be good. Start from the very beginning. Start from step 1. What did you do to that person? Have you ever met this person before?
No, never met this.
Complete stranger. Cool. What did you do first?
Well, hey, how you doing?
Boom. You skipped the wave part. You didn't even wave at him. You just went straight to step number 2, man. I love it. Cool.
So we went in, you started talking about.
Well, no, I want specifics. I don't want theoretical. I'm going to get into it. So this is perfect. So you said, hi, how are you? What crazy thing did they do back? What did they say to you?
Hey, how are we doing fine, and you?
Y'all didn't pull guns or knives. Y'all didn't get into a fist fight. Everybody's good. All right, good. All right, nobody died.
Nobody died.
I love it. Then what'd you say?
Well, we started talking about the school. This is a good school, Sam Houston. This is a good school. We started talking about our children. What major? What major that which each other major. Your daughter's taking, and then what their son was having. That he getting ready to take for this summer. Well, for the fall rather. Mm-hmm. And so we just kind of talked about family. I mean, he started talking about his occupation, which right into
he just brought that up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
a stranger.
Of course, they asked
Rio, a stranger started talking about themselves.
They talk about themselves.
Well, I'll be damned. How about that?
And then, of course, they gonna ask me, "Well, what do you do?" And I say, "Well,
they asked you what." Rio, you're going too fast, man. I got to slow this down a little bit. He asked about you. You didn't even get to ask him about him. He just did it himself.
Yeah, yeah.
He formed himself. He was doing it for you. Is he already in the business? Does he already understand my system?
No, he just started talking about himself, which, you told me if you let them talk about themselves, that's where it started going. And that's what happened. And so, it all started talking about our daughters and my daughter, his son, and, the school. And then, and that started a whole conversation about family, what he did, what I did.
And then that kind of puttered out, and then it shifted gears. The conversation wasn't done, but topics changed, and you started talking about the next thing, which is occupation. What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
What does he do for a living?
He's IT. He's an IT. He started out doing security, just, regular security, but he went back to school, and so he's doing IT. He's doing security for banks.
Rio, are you reading all your notes right here where you sat down afterwards and wrote down like an FBI file on this guy and submitted a police report, or are you just remembering this?
I'm just remembering. This is what they just remember. We just talked about it.
How about that?
And so after he got through explaining what he did and so forth, my wife and everybody was out there talking. And so we just started to my children again. We got back on children. And the cost of children, we started about how much it costs to go to school.
Pause again for me. If y'all just noticed a difference in Rio's storytelling, did y'all just hear a change in Rio's voice just a second ago? He talked about the cost. It sounded like he was announcing a movie. This Sunday, superheroes will collide. I mean, that was the level. Did y'all hear how that just happened?
Exactly.
Do you know what that's called, Rio?
You got me. Go ahead, kick into it.
That's called, anybody want to fill in the blanks for me right here? What did Rio just find out about this guy? What was that? Anybody can answer this one. That can unmute yourself. Tell me what that's called. Hit the button and say it. Michelle,
why?
What you got? See if she can find that mute button.
Me? Which Michelle?
I was saying Michelle because she's looking for the button, but Michelle, you've already got it hit. What's the word I'm looking for?
Why? A reason.
You found the thing, the desire, the why. You are touching on something right there, weren't you, Rio?
The why, the cost.
The cost. Why is he worried about the cost? Is he not a multi-millionaire?
No.
He's not. He works in IT. I know what that's like. I've been there. So he might have a desire right there. Why? Did you feel the difference in the conversation when y'all were talking about that today?
Well, yes, exactly. We started talking about, again, the cost of school, the cost of, in this case, children, how much they cost, and then the schooling and what is needed for schooling and stuff like that. So that's why I went into the cost.
How about that?
And so that goes into, like you say, a why.
That's it. So we call that the finding the thing, all right, or a thing. This is a thing to them.
Okay.
This is something that's got a little bit higher vibration going on than. Now, was all the other stuff factual? Was it all accurate? Absolutely. Yeah. All of that stuff was accurate. All of that was very specific. He wasn't lying to you, but it was operating at a slower frequency. It wasn't as big of a deal.
I agree.
But all of a sudden, the cost of, whoop, we got a thing. Yeah. We got a thing. We got a possible thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
when you have that in the form, let me go back to my cool little diagram here. When you go to step 3 and you're trying to get to step 4, the only way you can pass go is you identify the thing that exists right there between 3 and 4. The way you leave step 3 is you identify the thing.
Okay.
When he said the thing, what did you say right after that?
Well, when he said the cost, I'm like, oh yeah, well, I know what you're talking about. I'm going through the same thing.
Now, Rio, have we talked about this before, you and I? Have we talked about this, gentlemen?
No.
No. We haven't talked about it, but as you were saying that, what did I write on the screen?
Oh, look like it feel, felt, and found. Well, there you go.
Oh, did that conversation? So I wasn't up there at the college. I wasn't spying on you. I don't have any listening devices planted on you. I just knew that after the thing is found, the next item in the conversation most often is this. I know how you feel. I felt the same way.
Yeah,
I found that these little guys are expensive.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what that's called? What you just did to him?
Empathy.
Yes, sir. Rio is batting 1,000 today, folks. You know what we do at step 4? We show empathy to the thing. Now, after that, what did you do, Rio? How did the conversation go after that?
Well, now that's where we just started talking about the empathy of, well, in this case, the feeling of the crunch of how much things cost, and how much children cost, how much schooling costs, and all this type of thing. So we just kind of stayed there. Now I'm just gonna be honest with you.
That's okay. Now, has anybody? I want to take a poll, and I want you to raise your hand if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever been in a conversation, and the conversation ran its course? Absolutely. Do you chase them down, tackle them, and then start telling them about all the great things that you have to offer to them right then and there?
No.
That would be weird. They might call the cops on you. Now, I'm making some fun here. I hope y'all have caught on to that. And it's a sarcastic fun that I've been having with this story, because we've been talking about this for a long time. And what I want to be able to do is show you the reason that we know that this thing works so well is that we've broken down how conversations work. And when you break down how conversations work and you look at thousands of them, you start picking up on some key patterns. And when I'm breaking this down for y'all, I'm doing it so that you can actually experience it instead of me just saying the same thing to y'all over and again. I want you to experience what just happened and how this marries up to what we're doing. How did I predict he was getting ready to do a feel, felt, found? I'm not psychic. I just looked at a whole bunch of them, and I know what's getting ready to happen next. How do certain people get really good at poker? Because they've been doing it for a long time, and they understand that there's some basic, simple things that keep happening over and again. Is it that way every time? No. But you do the thing enough times, you start seeing ratios form. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Okay. That's what this is. There's a ratio on how this thing goes. When you get to that, what I want to do is I want to point out how do you get past that part? How do you get past the forming? Because y'all have all done this part before. You've all got to this step, and you've identified their thing, or maybe you didn't even know you identified the thing, but you just had an aha. It's like, holy crap, I have been identifying their thing. I'm done with step 3. I can circle number 3 on my scorecard, and that's what y'all been seeing getting posted out all over creation because people are doing great work on this. But how do I get to step 4? Step 4 is showing that empathy. Man, I know how you feel. These kids are expensive. Now, what you can do right after that is no matter what the thing is, you can show empathy to it. Man, I know how it is to have back pain. Or I know, I'm sorry you're dealing with back pain. I know a guy that's dealt with back pain. I know somebody that's dealt with diabetes. I know that somebody's dealt with not being able to sleep, Crohn's, PTSD, high blood pressure, restless leg syndrome, all the different things that are out there. You have experienced that through someone else so that you can show empathy to them. Even if you can't relate to them, you have had something suck in your life before, you can relate to them.
Right.
That's the part I want everybody to get, is that you can do that. You don't have to experience the same thing when you're in the grocery store and they tell you, oh, damn, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. I truly am. How long have you been dealing with that? You could say that to this guy. How long have you been dealing with having to pay for kids? Well, duh, for a long time. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? We spend a lot of money on those kids. Here's the next thing you do. What are you doing to address that?
I can go right into, well, let me see. I could go into saying, well, wait a minute.
Icky feeling. I'm getting ready to predict your future again because I've been doing this for a while too. You're getting ready to experience an icky feeling.
You know I got it now. You know I got that icky feeling right now.
Yes. Because you're trying to push the conversation, and this is the part where you're not quite sure what to do right here. I want to pitch a fastball. I need to tell them about Kayani. I need to fix their thing.
Right.
You haven't asked permission yet. That's why it feels weird.
That's why it was icky. I didn't go no further. I just kind of stopped. I say, well,
Rio, no means no. You didn't ask permission. Some of you are going in for that smooch, and it ain't time to smooch yet.
Okay. But I'll see him tomorrow, though. There's
the big lesson right there for everybody, because y'all have all done that. Y'all have all had the icky feeling. You've all thrown what I call the fastball to somebody's ear. You're pitching the business, and they ain't ready to receive it yet. And they're looking in the dugout for what we're going to do for the next thing, and they catch a fastball in the ear because you didn't know what to do. Oh, throw the ball at them.
Yeah.
So here's the cool thing. Y'all have all done it. Now here's what you can do is the next time you see them, right after we get done with this call, heck, in the next 4 minutes, you can pick up your phone and you can send them and say, hey, I'm sorry, I got all excited earlier and I started talking about this thing. And man, I get all excited when I hear somebody's dealing with that because I've dealt with that too. And man, I just want to help everybody fix it. But man, I neglected to tell you that I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. And I felt that, and I felt it hard, and I skipped over telling you that because I wanted to get to the thing, and I just want to acknowledge I stepped a little too quick there, and I just wanted to tell you that. I promise you that will go light years with people.
Okay.
And if you haven't done this, go tell your spouse you're sorry for doing that, because I can guarantee every single one of y'all that's got a significant other has done that to your significant other. They come in there telling all the stuff that's wrong, and you're in here in fix-it mode, and you're like, you know what you need to do is stop bumping your gums and explaining all this stuff to me. Let me tell you exactly how to fix that. And then if you'll recall, you slept on the couch that night too. So what you do is instead of, this is that second landmine that I talk about all the time. When you're in step 4, you get into Mr. Fix-It mode. Okay, you've heard the thing. You've had a talk. You did good. You didn't throw up blueberries all over them in step 1. You actually asked about them. You asked what they're doing. You found out about them. Not once have you mentioned blueberries yet. Right. You find out their thing. You get done with step 3 and you go to step 4, and that's when we go into Mr. Fix-It mode. That's the landmine that we step on, and it blows up the conversation. Everybody feels bad, and there's body parts everywhere. So instead of that, what you want to do is you want to get permission to fix it.
Do you want to fix that?
That's right. That's right. After empathy, because some of y'all just get straight into you want to fix that. You forgot the empathy part.
Yeah, I see.
And some of you skip the empathy part and the permission part, and you just go straight to Pete and like, let's get this done. So here's a neat little thing that you can do on this step, Rio, and this is for everybody too to experience this is, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Is that something you would like some assistance with? What do you mean? Well, money. Would you like some assistance on figuring out how to fix the money problem? What are you getting on about? Well, you mentioned that they're expensive, and I absolutely agree. And you mentioned that you've been dealing with that for a while, and I've been there too. And then you mentioned that you really don't have anything to do to be able to fix that. Is that something that you want to keep experiencing for the rest of your life? Or would you like to fix it? And here's how this whole thing, this is how it all comes together. Y'all going to love this. You remember up here at the start of what we did? And I talked about this right here. And I talked about this right here. You know their desire is money. And what you're getting ready to hear happen to them is they're like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, I'm asking, would you like any assistance in fixing that issue? Is there any chance on planet Earth that these people don't want to fix, that this guy does not want to fix his money problem? Of course he wants to fix it. But what he's going to do is he's going to have dirt piled sky high. He's going to have all of his failings in life pile up on top of the money thing. He's going to have all the promotions that he got passed over, all the businesses that he's tried to get started that failed, all the chances that he's took that he didn't succeed, all the times that he spent his blood, sweat, and tears for 6 months and it didn't work and he had to quit. He's going to say, yeah, but I don't have one of these 3 things. And the cycle continues again, just like it did for you. Because you're down here, you found out the form, you showed them empathy, you're asking them, do they want to fix it? You're getting permission. Do you want to fix it? The answer to that for everybody on the planet is yes. It's the word that comes after that is the issue. If there's a word that comes after yes, that means they're collapsing their desire with their lack of one of these 3 things. Yes, I do want to fix that, but I've tried everything. I want to fix my money problem, but I'm stuck in this stupid IT job. I want to fix my money problem, but I don't have any time to do anything else. I don't have any energy to do anything else. I don't have any money to get something started. It takes money to make money. I don't have any support at the house to be able to do that, and I got all these kids, and I got to do all this other stuff. That's what they're going to throw at you. And what are you going to do? I'm not asking if you have a vehicle to do it. I'm not asking you if you know how to do it. I'm not asking you if you have the resources to do it. I'm just asking, do you want to do it? And that right there, my friends, is going to make an impact on a conversation. That's not asking about the weather. That's not asking about traffic. That's not asking about anything. That's getting into how you're going to put your dent on the universe type level of question. I'm not asking about these other 3 steps. I just want to start and see if you got a desire. I do have a desire. What do you have? Because they're going to start getting that tingly feeling that something's getting ready to happen. Nobody talks this way. Nobody brings up this thing. Everybody's hiding and afraid and scared and not talking like this. They're not engaging in a conversation, a true visit. But you are when you do that. They're going to say yes. Then we're going to see how much objections they're going to have. Well, I don't have this. I don't have that. I ain't asking about all that. I'm just asking, do you have a desire? I do. What do you have? They're going to get in creative mode instead of tear down mode. When they say, what do you have? That means they've given you permission. You've got a check mark in step 4. Now it's time to get to step 5. What do I have? I got a guy. This is where you pass. Anybody want to finish that sentence for me? What's step 5?
The ball.
Pass the ball. Rhea, do you know how to pass the ball?
Yes, sir.
Finish the story, create the story, make this one up because it didn't happen today, but make it up on how it could have happened with this new information. Pick up from where you left off on, I know how you feel. These kids are expensive. How could that conversation go moving forward?
Well, like I said, as far as getting them interested, or how I could have messed up.
No, how could you have done the steps now that I just gave you new information?
Oh, now I could have said, well, again, at this point, man, I know what you're feeling. You know, I'm going through the same thing. You know, do you want to fix that?
Boom. What are they going to say? Let me fill in the blanks and we'll role play this out for everybody. I'll be the guy that you met up there. Well, heck yeah, I want to fix it, but man, I've tried everything.
Okay, well, I could say, well, I know a guy.
Not yet. That would be weird, right? That wouldn't really fit just yet.
I couldn't fit just yet? Okay.
I just told you I've tried everything.
Okay. Okay, and I understand. I mean, we've all tried many things. I guess we can say like that. But
I just
do you
said,
really want to? But are you seriously about fixing it?
I am serious about fixing it, but I've tried everything.
Okay. So
What am I doing to you?
you try. So you kind of put. Well, the way I feel now is like you kind of put me in the box because I want to say. I want to say, yeah, I know a guy.
But it's not time yet because I don't want to talk to anybody just yet, and I haven't given you permission just yet. I've got an objection.
Okay,
I'm giving you the but objection.
Okay, so you give me the but objection. And
I'm telling you that, yes, I'm telling you that I've got a huge desire, but I've tried everything. There's no vehicles out there for me. I've tried them all.
Well, no, you haven't tried everything.
Good, you're getting there. What you want to do is you want to help me separate, because I'm over here worrying about vehicle, internal resources, and external resources, and all you asked me was, do I have a true desire to fix this? And I said, I do, but.
Okay.
And when that happens, they're never going to get to talking to me because they've got a roadblock right here.
Okay, so when they have that roadblock like that, a but, how can you overcome that but?
You have to separate the but. The but is these three things. They don't have a vehicle. They don't have resources. You're not asking them about a vehicle. You're not asking them, do they have a vehicle? You're not asking them, do they have resources? You're asking them, do they have a desire? And they are collapsing desire, which is the first box, with the vehicle box or the internal resources box or the external resources box. Yes, I do have a desire to do that, but since I don't think there's a vehicle out there for me, I don't even want to talk about my desires. You want to separate that off. I'm not asking you if you've tried everything. I'm just asking you if you got a desire.
So in this point, let me ask you this. So if I get the but my thing is, should I go back and say, okay, do you really want to fix this?
You're missing it, Rio. Let me try a different way. Let me reframe this. Let me get us all back to this spot right here.
Because I've talked to you about a couple of people that I've had, and they get to that point, but I get that but. I had that.
Absolutely.
I had that but, and I was like, but you said you want to fix this.
That's right. And what you haven't been able to do is help them separate these things. What they're doing in their head is that desire, they got to have desire, and they have to have their vehicle. They need a way to be able to make money, and they got to have resources. All right? And what they're telling you is that they do have desire, but I've tried everything. That means there's not a vehicle that exists to be able to help me. Therefore, there's no point in me continuing this conversation, and it's their way to be able to cut it off right there.
Okay. So when they do that, to give me that but.
When they give you a but, it doesn't matter what the but is. You need to get them to separate. Look, all I'm asking you about is desire. I didn't ask you if you've tried everything. I didn't ask you if you know how to do it. I didn't ask you if you had enough money to do it. I just asked you, do you have a desire?
Do you really have a desire? Do you really want to fix this?
There's a difference in that in separating it. You need to get them to get rid of this stuff over here. You need to get rid of, I'm not asking about this. I'm asking you about desire. Do you have a desire?
Do you have a desire? Okay.
Do you, and then that's the part where you're saying, do you want to fix it? Yeah, but you got to make sure that you're not, don't just keep saying that because they're going to get confused. You got to say, look, I'm not asking you about the stuff you said on the but, the part that comes after the but. I'm not asking you about that. I'm just asking you, do you have a desire to fix it? Well, yeah, But no, whatever comes after but, I'm not asking you about that. I just want to know, do you have a desire?
Yeah. Okay.
I do. What are you getting at? Oh, you want to know how I actually fixed it? I'm glad you asked. I've got a guy that can explain it to you.
Okay. All right. So when they get the but, I need to say, do you really have a desire? Do you really have that desire? Do you
Listen
really want
to what they let.
But I shouldn't say I don't. Do you really want to fix this? I really just need, do you have a desire?
You got this part down. Good job. When they say, I do have a desire, but I've tried everything. What I'm wanting you to do is I want you to get them to understand that I'm not talking about the everything. I'm not talking about what comes after the word but.
Right. I just want to know, do you have a desire?
That's it. I'm not asking about have you tried everything. I'm asking, do you have a desire?
Right. Okay.
Let me role play it for you.
Chances are, if they say, well, yes, then that's when I say I know a guy.
They're gonna, you're getting into the permission. Then you're getting into permission on that, and you want them to be piqued. You want their curiosity to get the better of them. I do. What do you have? You obviously have something, or you wouldn't be going down this path with me. What do you have that I don't know about? Because what that does, Rio, do you see how that's different? The conversation now in their head isn't shut off, but it's opened up to possibilities now.
So that, but if you say you want to fix it, that goes down a whole nother road, though.
When you ask them, do you want to fix it? They're like, I do want to fix it. And they stop with the but. They just go simply, I want to fix it. Well, now we can do something. Yeah. You've gotten rid of the negativity. You've gotten rid of the but. You just got them to exist in a space that they're just saying, I do want to fix that.
Okay. So I got to get them beyond that but. That's kind of the issue. And I'm be honest with you, that's kind of the issue that I have on certain people is when I say, do you want to fix it? Yeah, and just like you say, it's gonna say, yeah, I've tried, and I got that. I've tried a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Let's role play. Let's role play.
What do you have?
Let's role play it. Let's role play it. Ask me again.
Okay.
Ask me again about money.
Okay. So how can I go into this? So you having a hard time with your money? How about that?
That's a true statement, man. I don't have enough month. I got too much month at the end of my money.
Okay, and I do understand that you're having some financial problems. I understand. I have the same thing. I understand. You know. So do you really, at this point, do you have a desire? Do you have a desire to fix that?
Well, absolutely. I'd love to have more money, but I don't have enough time to go out there and get another job.
Do you have a desire? That's all I'm asking.
I have a lot of desire, but I don't have time to go out and do anything. I tried everything. I don't have time to do any of those things.
I understand. I've been in the same situation, but I just want to know, do you have a desire? Because if you have a desire, I have a desire. I had a desire just like you did.
That's good. You've nailed the desire. What you need to do is go kill the but part. You need to address the fact that I am saying the but part. I'm saying I have, but I've tried all I don't have time to go do jobs. What I would suggest at that point is don't mention the desire. Say, I'm not asking if you have time to go get a new job. I'm not talking about a new job. I'm simply asking. So acknowledge what they're saying and then destroy it and say, I ain't asking about that. I'm asking about this. Do you have a desire?
Yeah, do you have a desire? So like you said, I'm not asking about a job. I'm not asking about your time.
You're not.
I just want to know, do you have a desire?
Well, duh. I mean, hell, Rio, everybody wants more money, of course. What are you getting on about, Rio? What's this thing about this money? What do you have going on?
I just want to know, do you have this desire?
Hell yeah. What you got?
Okay. All right. I know a guy.
You know a guy?
Yes.
I know a lot of guys too. What does this guy do? Why do I want to talk to him?
He helped me with the same situation that you have, and I guarantee he can help you with yours.
Really? How do I get in touch with this guy?
Oh, just give me your number. And we can talk about it a little later on.
Well, that sounds pretty cool. I like that. Let's make that happen. When can I talk to him?
All right, we'll get together and I'll let you know. Give me your number and we'll talk about it.
That's called a golf clap. Raise your hand if you got anything out of that. You see how you can use that in yours?
Yes, I see it. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, you know, and I've talked to Eddie about it too. Me and Eddie, we just had a conversation, I think, we had a conversation. Was that Monday, Tuesday? We had a conversation about this, and he was telling me the same thing. But you know, it sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, Casey, sometimes when certain people can throw you off. It's sometimes the wording and sometimes
Absolutely.
the way that they say it just kind of throw you off. You be like, you know, and I told Eddie I had one guy, I was getting desperate, and I say, well, look, you need some Kiana. and I know,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Throw it out there, see what happens. Some people are just, you just want to slap them.
And I know that wasn't the right thing, but I was like, I told Eddie, I say, I'm trying to get somebody.
Let me key off what you just said right there. I know it's not the right thing. Let me address that. I want to work one more thing in tonight. But Rio, you have been awesome on working through this with me. I know that's not an easy thing to do. You didn't know you were getting ready to get into that with me, but that was awesome. And you get it. And now a whole bunch of other people are a little closer to getting it because of what you just did right there. But what you just said is I want to make sure I do it the right way. I don't want to do it the wrong way. Let me be crystal clear for everybody that's looking at this and watching the replay. I am not a big fan of there being a right way and a wrong way to do it. There is a way that works and a way that doesn't work. That's how I like to label that. Okay. Because there are different things for different people at different times, and that's why you'll never hear me give you a script. I'm going to give you suggestions so that you can experience what we're mainly going for, but I'm never going to give you the exact wording because there's an infinite number of possibilities in what people are going to say. I didn't know the exact wording you were going to use with the guy, but I knew it was getting ready to be feel, felt, found. It was going to be in that vicinity. So there's different parts of the conversation that are going to be there, but the words that are going to be used, that's the beauty of it. Everybody's going to fill in the picture different with their crayons, and it's going to be yours. And if it's yours, then it's yours and it's right. It's absolutely awesome because it's what's serving you and it's how you're going to be. That's it. Don't nobody get held up on, well, there's a right way and a wrong way to do this and I'm doing it wrong. Because I'm going to tell you it now. Are there things that are, I mean, let me say it this way. If I'm in Houston and I want to go to Seattle, and that's northwest, if I take off on I-10 east towards Miami, is that the wrong way to go? Is it going to take me longer to get there? Absolutely. So it's not going to serve me to go that way, but it's not that it's wrong. It's just going to be another path, and it's probably going to take me longer.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that it's not going to be more efficient going my way. I am telling you it will be more efficient doing it this way, but it's not the only way.
I got you.
I want to make that key step there. Something else that I want to explain that we just did, and I'm going to reference this awesome dude right here that wrote this book. And he's over in one of these little boxes that you're seeing his ceiling right there. He is. There's his cute, beautiful face right there. So he wrote something pretty key in here, and I want to reference. I'm going to read to you for a little bit. It's going to go fast because I can read fast. This is on page 12 of his book. So how do you elevate your thinking? How can you manage to turn your problems into opportunity? One way is to bring other minds into the mix. What did we just do? We elevated everybody's thinking by bringing other minds into the mix. Let's say you have a great idea, but just can't think of a way to implement it. Rio, you had a great idea. How do I implement it? Consider forming what's called a mastermind group. All of y'all cute little beautiful Brady Bunch faces right here is the mastermind group. Or join an already existing group that has similar interests to your own. Do y'all all want to be able to help more people? Well, looky here. We got similar interests. This can really work for you, but you must be willing to trust and share your idea. This is key because a lot of y'all don't trust just yet, or you're going to feel icky. Some of you and the beginning didn't have your video on. Interesting. Continuing on. I know this seems basic and maybe even a little old school, but it works. You must get other minds than yours working on your problems and then bouncing their responses off you. What did we just do? We bounced off some different responses. This can propel your thinking to new heights that you would otherwise not reach. Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, was the first person to use the word mastermind. He explained that it was the concept where two minds come together to create a third mind or mastermind. Y'all all raised your hand that helped out tremendously, and you weren't involved in the conversation. But you were involved in the conversation. You were all here, pushing your energy into it. This is very important as you can't elevate your own thinking by yourself. It is very, very rare that you're going to be stuck in a cave and you're going to come up with calculus on your own. You're going to build upon other knowledge and build upon other knowledge and build upon other knowledge through a mastermind. Another way to do this is find someone who has already done what you wish to do or who has done something similar. I've done this before. Ask for their opinion. And if they're willing to share, listen. I'm willing to share. I don't know if y'all are willing to listen. I'll leave that in y'all's hands. Really listen. This is where you'll have the opportunity to elevate your thinking. Finding such mentors is an important effort to make. A mentor can make all the difference in the world because they've already made mistakes that you can learn from, thus significantly shortening your own journey. You can go do all these problems yourself, screw this all up like I've done for 10 years, or you can short circuit all this and just go ahead and take what I'm sharing with you and just put the damn thing into place, and it goes a whole lot faster. Your choice. Continuing on. Read the works of other business people or those in your field. Jim Rohn, Eric Worre. There's two of them. Listen to their CDs. Building Your Network Marketing Business, Hour and 6 Minutes, found on YouTube. And seek them out. Their ideas can also take your thinking to new levels. Not having the money or time while building my businesses, my mentors often came to me through these mediums. YouTube's free, last I checked. There's literally a ton of information out there at the click of a mouse. That ends on page 13. Y'all get what this is? Y'all get what we're doing? Who wrote that? I don't know. Some long-haired hippie. If you haven't got his book, you can get that on Amazon. I highly recommend it. So, was this helpful for everybody tonight? Did y'all get anything out of it? Cool. Very cool, very cool. So what are y'all going to do with this? You're going to go have more conversations. You're going to say, you'll wave, Forrest Gump style. Then you're going to say, hi, how are you? You can put both of those together. I'm good with it. I want to be clear. If y'all want to do both of those steps at the same time, do it. But at a minimum, I want you to do that to 10 people each day. 8 of them ain't going to respond. It's cool. That's going to give you 2 people to actually have a conversation with. Form them. Find out their thing. Listen for the thing. When you feel the vibration of holding onto that copper wire that's plugged into the 110 volt in the wall, that's when you know. Then show empathy. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. I found this thing. Would you like to fix what you're dealing with? Yeah, but. Oh, I'm not asking about the but. I'm not asking how you tried everything, how you don't have this, don't have that, don't have that. I ain't asking about that. I'm asking, do you have a desire? Well, I do have a desire. What do you got? I got a guy. You want to talk to him? Not really. Cool. Keep being broke. Good seeing you. We'll see you next year when we're moving everybody in. Next. There's the system in 37 seconds or less. All right. I'm going to mute the line so y'all can say good night. Thank y'all for being on. Let's go kick some butt and help some people.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
Good night.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. Good night.
Awesome.
Night.
Good night, John Boy.
Thank you.
All right.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
All right.
Good job, Rio.
Appreciate it.
Good
Thank
job.
you again.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Stephanie, did you like it? You're muted out. Click your little unmute button or the microphone button. There you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing.
Did that help?
Very, very informative.
Cool. Now you know what we do in our group.
Okay, so how often is this a weekly thing? Every week?
Every Thursday, same time, same number. Everything's the same for mine. And then we have Mr. David Jones. You saw him on there. He had answered one of the questions. He does it for me on Monday nights as well.
Okay, and now what about these workshops you mentioned?
Those are already full up. I've already I'm doing smaller classes on that. But between you and me, everything I just talked about, that's what we do in the class.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But what about the one-on-one? I guess I would have to schedule a one-on-one with you sometime, I guess.
Yeah. And then what do we do on that? And you can ask questions during these power hours. If something pops up and said, hey, what about this? We love the questions because it allows us to be interactive with the group.
I see. Okay.
Yep. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you joined.
Okay. Thank you so much. You
You're
have
welcome.
a good night.
You too.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.